Quebec's government has introduced a bill to preserve the integrity of Canadian elections by making it illegal to influence or disturb an election or compromise the public's trust in the electoral process. It would make it a crime to falsely represent the chief electoral officer or a candidate in order to mislead the public. Talk about trying to bail out a sinking ship with a Dixie cup. Canada has laws against false advertising. For example, you can't put up a flyer saying strawberries are $1, only to have people show up to your store and find out they're $5. That would be illegal. And you know what? Back in the 90s, that worked. Most companies avoided printing false advertising because they were worried about punishment. And that resulted in, for the most part, most people didn't go around hearing constant lying every second of every day. Having worked for Shockable in the 2010s, I know y'all are liars. All of you. I always knew every time you liars called in, you had not actually unplugged your modem, because I saw it had been online for 4 months. Just unplug the thing before calling in, damn it. It's 2025 though, and companies that mix user-generated content with advertising have essentially gotten around false advertising laws. Kids are growing up saturated in nihilism because they really don't deal with a lot of honest and authentic content. So much of what they see and hear is just clickbait, dishonest hooks, nonsense. In a lot of ways, they're addicted to it, and so are adults. I recently found myself in a protracted conversation with someone who'd clearly been consuming a lot of material funded by a certain foreign government. And this person was convinced that a major conflict in the world simply wasn't happening because they'd seen a video where someone claimed that a restaurant had opened in an area of the world where bombs are frequently going off, which is ridiculous. The fact is, we need to be demanding more and more of companies that profit off of advertising mixed with user generated content. We need to be regulating content that is made outside of Canada that could be viewed by a Canadian audience, because a great deal of money is currently being spent to ensure that the most gullible of us have a fundamentally different worldview. These people are being forced to live in a world where they think your immune system can be boosted. Still not sure what that actually means. Like, you can provide nutrients that your cells need, you can rest, you can do certain other things, but like, you can't just like connect electrodes to nipples and boost the immune system. But people think that viruses are just magical dust. A lot of people don't even know that bacteria are much bigger than viruses. Or they're living in a world where politicians are magical demigods, where entire cities have been wiped off the map by protesters who are just taking over the city, and like, that's not actually happening, but people keep saying it, and so they believe it. And in many cases, these faux grassroots movements are being funded by large corporations who essentially consider funding these disinformation groups as just part of their advertising. So how would I fix it? It may surprise you, but two of the biggest targets that you go after first would be Google and Facebook.